So show me a game this year where this strategy has caused it to become more successful. I'll wait. So CD Projekt Red franchise and lore designer for The Witcher 4 describes Cyberpunk 2077 players as fascistic, unempathetic, and depraved, as well as poisonous and predatory wankers. Now, I'm sure when you see what this guy looks like, I know you're gonna be surprised. But here's what he this is him. Cian Maher. This freaking this person who looks like they also sit down to pee. And I have to keep saying this because, not like a morning kind of thing. You're getting up, you're like, and you have to take a shit. So you sit down anyway because there's no point standing to take a piss and then sitting down. No, this dude looks like he's going throughout his day. He goes into like a public place or even his own home and he sits down, wide awake, bright during the day, and this dude sits down to pee. So, Cian Maher, CD Projekt Red's franchise and lore designer, who was working on the upcoming The Witcher 4 game, previously called CD Projekt Red's customers fascistic, unempathetic, and depraved, as well as poisonous and predatory wankers. Because coming out and attacking the player base has proven to be a surefire way to get customers. Oh, wait, it's the opposite. And whether it be games or like this all of this really started with that crappy 2016 Ghostbusters coming out and saying, "Oh, well, if you don't like it, you just hate women and you're this and you're that." And then it spiraled, and now here we are. Every time you have a criticism about something, these people come out and attack you. They don't care whose side you're on. They don't care if you vote the same way they do. If you criticize them, you're as extreme gets. And every single game, at least, especially this year, what happens? What happens? Name one game this year where people have been coming out and they've attacked the player base and that game succeeded. So maybe instead of being in the business of just trying to push your agenda, which is what they're doing now, they don't care about making games. They just want to push whatever ideological crap they can. Instead of doing that, how about you do your job and what you're there for? To make games. To make money by making those games. And coming out and attacking millions of players and calling them fascists and this and that, that's not a great way to sell your game. And then when the game fails, you all sit there scratching your heads like, "Oh, what happened? Oh, it must be those far right extremists and those fascists that caused their game to fail." Maher, who's been working at Projekt, and he hasn't even been working there long. Previously worked at the game, of course, as associate editor, and then the lead features editor. Always. Because they're not gamers anymore. They're activists. They're fucking activists every single time. Maher wrote an article published in December 2020 that at the Gamer titled "People who call Cyberpunk 2077 perfect are the people that Cyberpunk warns us against." As part of the article, he declared, "While I can recognize that CD Projekt's marketing of Cyberpunk 2077 lead into the edgelord egos of a demographic that rhymes with incel." And see, there's another thing. Do they even know the definition of incel? They call these so basically incels are people who hate women completely and they don't like people who, men and women who are in sexual relationships. They do realize that gamers do have wives, they have children, these people are so ignorant and so narrow-minded, they can't think. They want to say they're college educated and how smart they are, and yet they don't even know the very definitions of the words of what that they're using. Not everyone who disagrees with you is a fucking incel, dumb shit. More than times they're not. I mean, how can a person who is in a married, relationship, who's married to a woman who has children, how the fuck could they be an incel? Do you people even think about what you're saying before you say it? Or is this the new edgy word that you all like to spew out? The sheer volume of people who have exposed themselves as irredeemably malicious lowlifes over the past few months and the past few days in particular is not just disheartening, but legitimately frightening. I was always aware of the malevolent mob, although I never recognized its alarming number of proponents. After generalizing Cyberpunk 2077 players, he then pointed to specific examples and rightfully derided individuals who were trying to trigger a seizure in former Game Informer writer Liana Rupert as deplorable. Uh, he wrote, I wonder if they realize that by sending critics who have notified the world about potentially life-threatening sequences in the games of videos that could trigger seizures in real life, that their actions are deplorable beyond human comprehension. Now, I don't agree with that, and if you're doing that crap, you're pathetic. If a person outright says, hey, these things cause me seizures, and you intentionally continue to do it, you're a fucking jackhole. Grow the hell up. Like, I don't care if you disagree with that person. Seizures are not fun. Okay, people can die from seizures because their hearts can give out. So if you are intentionally doing this, you are a freaking jackhole. Grow the hell up. Rupert wrote a piece at Game Informer sharing that she had suffered a major seizure while playing the game. During my time in Cyberpunk 2077, I suffered one major seizure and felt several moments where I was close to another one. I kept going because I made that decision to, and I feel like that decision helped me sort of slap together a small little guide for players wanting to take part in the game for fear of missing out. Yeah, that's let's see. However, harassing so-called trans people claim 20 Cyberpunk 2077 was harassed. I wonder if they realize that by harassing trans writers who are rightfully and justifiably critiqued Cyberpunk's 2077's haphazard and sometimes harmful reference. See, these people never have a problem representing certain, like, the gay community or trans community in a certain way. But then when they have a chance to, they always display, and represent Christians or just the right in general, specifically a very certain way. And they think that's fine. I'm like, why else do you? It's because of the media that people think that everyone who lives in the South, well, we just fuck our sisters and just sitting on the porch with our guns. That it's because of them. That's how they constantly write people from the South. So, so it's okay to generalize and stereotype those people because, oh, that's fine. But you start portraying trans or gay or whatever a certain way. Oh, now you're overstepping the line here. That's too much. I want to punch gamers. In 2020, I want muscles so I can effectively punch gamers. And also so I can carry cute people and dogs of any size easily. Yeah, I can imagine he probably hits like a 5-year-old girl. He's like, you take that, you mean freaking Nazi. Uh. I'm once again asking for you to stop being toxic little weirdos. Yeah, because, when you don't agree with someone, it's because they're toxic weirdos. Not because they have valid criticism, but no, because they're toxic. But, yeah, this is all they do, and then they wonder why their products fail. I mean, again, think of just this year. All the games that came out where the companies have just like openly said, "Oh, don't if you don't like it, don't play. It's not for you. You're phobes and isms. You're fascists. You're Nazis. You're this. You're that." Look how the games ended up. Why do they continue to think that this is a winning strategy? If they're in the business to lose money, then yeah, they're ahead of the curve here, and they're going to continue losing money. But why do they continue to do this? You're not in the business to lose money. You're in the business to make money. But this is what happens when you hire the little activists like them. These little freaking soy limp-wristed pussies who have to sit down to pee. That is what happens when you hire activists instead of real gamers who want to create a quality product. Maybe stop hiring activists. But of course, that won't happen because the people in charge are activists. So it's never going to change. It's never going to change. And as long as there's one person out there who supports a person like this, who comes out and like, oh, you leave big company alone, it's not going to stop. And these people will just become more emboldened, and they'll see no reason to stop because they have people behind them to defend them. So, and then people wonder why there's no quality games coming out from these companies, how these once great companies are just becoming shells of what they were, because it's nothing but activists now. And then the games lose money, and then guess what happens? The good people who are there trying to just do their jobs, they get laid off. All because these assholes are more concerned with catering and pandering to a group of people and going out, and instead of just trying to promote their product and trying to get people to play it, no. They're just like, it's not meant for you, don't play it. You're just such a bunch of phobes and isms. So not only is that going to push the gamers who are going to play it away, it pushes them away, but people who thought of possibly joining in on that, genre or the big name game, they're going to look at that and be like, well, I was going to, but I don't like the way they're talking to their customers, the gamers, so I'm not going to even bother. And then again, the game fails, and what happens? They're like, oh, what? I don't understand what happened. Oh, it must have been all those far evil right extremists, those Donald Trump supporters. They're always ruining everything. No, not the company coming out and basically saying, fuck you. We're going to do this whether you like it or not, and if you don't like it, don't play it. No. It's not them. It's never them. It's always us. It's always us. Anyway. But what else? Like I said, what else do you get from a bunch of activists who sit down to pee? Anyway, that's going to do for me. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys later.